Hello Voltheads, you are watching the self-proclaimed, sarcastically named Captain KeyForge, also known as PJ Broughton of the Steel City Snufflegators. And now I'm back playing in the KOTE. We're now into Series 6, which is one deck from AoA, Worlds Collide, Mass Mutation. I am playing an AoA deck, so I've got round 1. In round 1 I'm playing an AoA deck as well. This is my opponent's deck. Highlights, I mean, you've got help from Future Self. You've also got the Brig combo by Rupture Interdimensional Craft, which I used in the last KOTE, which was very, very potent. Not a lot of amber control, but when it could go off, it could go off well. Also as well, Time Traveller helps to shuffle it back into the deck. There's a couple of Shulers. There's also an Exhume to help bring them back, or potential things. Mars needs amber. So yeah, also pretty efficient as well with double Helper Bot and double Igor. So yeah, let's see how we get on with this one. And my opponent's going to be going first, so I'm going to be going second. It's not a bad hand. I mean, you don't necessarily want to see too much to protect in your opening hand, but in this deck I have got a hidden stash to try and archive it away, so it could potentially be better to have it in hand now and try and archive it away with the hidden stash than wait for it to come back later. And also as well, we have got a 3-card hand with Brobnar, so I've chosen to keep that. My opponent has played a Helper Bot there, so I can pound that away and then put down the Cowfine, put down the Ganger Chieftain and reap for 1. So yeah, not a bad start. Could have been better. Could have been Drummernaut and Ganger Chieftain, because I've got a Drummernaut and 2 Ganger Chieftains in this deck. So if that had been Drummernaut, Ganger Chieftain in my opening hand, that would have been 6 amber straight away. Which, especially against something with low amber control, would have been a good start. Although again, Brig may then have blown up in my face and given him 6 amber, so might not be too wise to push too far above. This time he's played Banished and he's put Cowfine into my archive. He's played Schuler and he hasn't stolen 1 there just because I'm not at 4 yet. Played Not Finished With You. And he's returned Helper Bot to his deck. I'm just looking through what we've got. We've got the Nerve Blast, got the Gamgee, but I think it's worth putting out the Sanctum Creature, Lion Boutrum, and Protect the Weak, just to try and keep that Ganger Chieftain alive. Because again, as I say, I've got Drummernaut. At the moment there's a low board. There's the chance to Drummernaut into 6 while ever the board is low. So protect the Ganger Chieftain, see what happens there. So, we're sort of level pegging at the moment. No one's taking a flying early start or a flying early lead. So he's played Mulligan, he's played a Fixed Finger and then another Fixed Finger, passed it to me. And then I have gone into Shadows. There's the hidden stash that I was talking about. Put Too Much to Protect in there. Then Nerve Blast something. I mean, the Martian creature's got a lot of amber, so not much point putting it on those. Might as well put it on the Shula. Even though it's got a good playability, you don't want to see it coming back, but still. Then put the Gamgee down protected next to Lion Boutrum. Up to 5 amber. Going okay so far. I mean, if you saw any of my previous KOTE videos, the Brig is something here that I'm slightly cautious about. But my opponent's gone into Mars. He's played Hypnotic Command, and he's forced the Gamgee to capture a couple. Then he's played down a Beam Buckler, deal 2 damage to the Gamgee. The Gamgee stayed alive though because the Boutrum's passing it another 2 power. maybe one of the fixed fingers fight into the Lion Boutram. But again, Lion Boutram's got 2 points of armour, so that's only taking off the armour. And then he's read with the other fixed finger. So then he's passed it back to me. Shame about the Hypnotic Command making me lose 2 amber, because I might have been able to get back to check again this turn. Yeah, just deciding whether or not to play the Sanctum option or the Shadows option. Whistling Darts isn't going to do much in the Shadows. Nerve Blast is not going to kill a creature. Could say, I suppose, that Mac the Knife is going to be able to be used on every turn, but equally some arrows could be interesting because he can collect a bit of amber as my opponent's trying to reap, just a bit of reap hate. So yeah, I've gone into the Sanctum, Shield of Justice, which stops me from taking any damage this turn, and there's a mistake, fighting it into an elusive creature. Whoops. So that's poor, but you know, you make mistakes sometimes. And then played down the some arrows to take any amber onto some arrows that's being reaped. Maybe I should have fought into the Martian creature. I mean, realistically, the only one I could have got rid of there was the Shula with a fight, or I could have reaped. I mean, it wouldn't have put me into check, so it's not a massive mistake, but it's still poor. So yeah, that's a mistake. Although, to be fair, my opponent might have made one with the whole 2 damage onto Gamgee, because he might have missed the power, but I'm not sure. Logo's turn coming now, so we've got a Time Mechanic, we've got a Time Traveller, we've got a Help from Future Self played, Finite Rupture, discarded. Didn't fancy giving us both a big burst there. Presumably he didn't have the graft. I mean, otherwise he probably would have played it, unless he drew the Finite Rupture off the Time Traveller. It's potentially what could have happened. Coward's End would get rid of 4, but it would also get rid of 3 of mine, which is not ideal. I can go into Shadows instead, so we'll go into Shadows. Might have been a clever idea here to Nerve Blast my own Gang of Chieftain, but I played the Whistling Darts, I played the Nerve Blast to steal Amber, and I've taken out the Shula with the Nerve Blast, put the Gamgee in play, put Mac the Knife in play. I mean, Mac the Knife now could reap and kill the Time Traveller. Got to check there. As you saw, there's not a lot of amber control, but there is some to be had. Equally, there's an interdimensional graft, which would take one, if he's got that. So, much as it's nice to rush away, there are some cards in the game that just stop you, you know, going up to 8 or 9 if you can. To be fair, I couldn't, but yeah, you don't want to be doing that if there's a graft or too much to protect like I've got. A couple of quite punishing cards. So he's gone for Mars this time. Mulligan to kill Gamgee. That'll put the 2 into his pool that he captured onto Gamgee from my side. As you can see, he's got Mind Worm and Sky Booster Squadron in hand. He's fought Gamgee and fought Gamgee with the fixed fingers to get rid of the other Gamgee, which is good play because unless he can take me off check, and he will know that the Gamgee would be able to reap and steal next turn if he left it alive. If I forge, so that was a good shout if he's letting me forge this turn. Played the Sky Booster, played the Mind Worm. And then he's reaped with some arrows and I've captured it. So I'm going into Brobnar. I make a pig zero of this. So what I should do here is fight the Gang of Chieftain into something like the Time Traveller or the Sky Booster Squadron, something that keeps it alive. Or maybe do this, action Mac the Knife. But yeah, I want to be fighting with Mac the Knife to put some damage onto it, fighting with Gang of Chieftain to put some damage on it, and then playing Coward's End. There we go. That was one of them gone. But there with the Gang of Chieftain, I fought something that's elusive. So that's bad. Yeah, should have put the Gang of Chieftain into the Sky Booster Squadron, and then instead of what this looks like in a moment, I would have also had the Flameweight Szymon down as well. So I'd have had 3 creatures to 2. Which, not brilliant. I suppose possibly as well I could have gone into Sanctum and done the take hostages and done a fight with one of the Sanctum creatures. That might have been a mistake as well, but I was worried that board was starting to get out of control. And there are 2 wipes in here. As you can see, there's the Spirit's Way in Sanctum, but this deck doesn't move fast in terms of draw. So I thought it was better to give up the key and try and take a bit of board control back. So my opponent's gone into this. He's played Bloodshard Imp, and then he's played Scullion. He has to kill a creature for Scullion. So he's done one of the fixed fingers. He's played Yerk. He's discarded Cutthroat Research. Played Creeping Oblivion. Got another pound there. And that'll let me take out the Bloodshard Imp that's going to kill anything that reaps. So he's purged the both the Nerve Blasts, which are good cards to get rid of. Luckily it's not in Furnace, so I don't lose Amber for them as well. But yeah, that's a good purge. So I've gone for Brobnar. I've pulled my archives. Obviously, I'm going to have to leave the Too Much to Protect in there now. But yeah, played a pound. Play the Cowfine. Use the Gang of Chieftain. Read with that one. Again, I don't particularly want the Gang of Chieftain to die. As you can see, there's a Drummernaught in there. Yes, there's 2 Gang of Chieftains, but the whole Drummernaught Gang of Chieftain, and as well with a Cowfine, you know, I could put the Drummernaught on the left and then get a bit out of the Cowfine and the Gang of Chieftain on the right. So he's gone into logos this time, and he's played an Igor, looked at the top 3 cards of his deck. Obviously he's going to be pulling one of them into his hand, which may or may not be a logos card. Probably will be a logos card, but we don't know for sure just yet. Plays a Helper Bot, not letting him play something out of house. Plays Binding Irons, so now up to 4 chains. There's the Interdimensional Graft. discarded standardised testing because it's going to kill his 6 and his 1. Reet with a Titan Mechanic, who's now reducing the key cost to 5. And he's passed the turn. Tough one that. I mean, you've got 4 chains as well, so 2 bad pennies are too much to protect. Not really worth playing those, is it? So I've gone for the Brobnar. I've used the knife to deal the damage to help a lot in game 1. I've fought Calfine into Yerk, and then with the Ganger I've reaped, got up to 5, put myself in check because of the Titan. I don't expect to be in check again at the end of this turn, to be fair. Because if you want to, you could just kill it for starters. Run it into the Ganger Chieftain and kill it. There we go, so he's gone for Mars. Mars needs Amber. That's a very fortunate time to have that card when I've got 3 damaged creatures down. But yeah, captures 3, so that's good. Good for him. Then he's revealed a few Mars cards with Mother Gun and taken out the Ganger Chieftain, although bearing in mind the Ganger Chieftain went down on turn 2 and it's now turn 9. He's been there quite a long time. He's played Think Drone, played Hypnotic Command to capture another one, and then played Entropic Manipulator to move a bit of damage around on my creatures. That's got him up to 9. So obviously now he's given me the chance to play too much to protect. So again, it was fortunate he went that far up to 9. I don't know. We're supposed to be playing with sealed decks in round 1, but again, once you've seen my name at the top, you could have looked it up. I'm not saying my opponent did, but you certainly could have done. To be fair, he probably didn't, otherwise he wouldn't have got up to 9. So yeah, play the TMTP, put down the 2 bad pennies, read with Mac the Knife to get to check again. He's forged his key. Yeah, didn't have. I mean, I have also got a Ronnie in here that you can see. I've got the Doorstep as well. I mean, I've burnt the 2 Nerve Blasts. I've burnt the 2 Gamgees. But yeah, there's still the Ronnie. There's still the Doorstep. So he's played an Exhume, and obviously gonna, when you see Exhume and you're on 6, the Shuler's come in. He's played Banish to put Mac the Knife into my archives and take the one off that. And at the moment that's going to be it, because as I say, we've got a Ronnie in the deck and we've got a Doorstep in the deck, but I've got neither of them in my hand and he's at 6. So yeah. Possibly if I had a Smite, we can make something work with that to take hostages. And I love the Spirit's Way. The Spirit's Way against all of the later sets, how many creatures seem to be above power 3 in Worlds Collide and Mass Mutation. So the Spirit's Way, I'm happy to see that. But yeah, it's a shame the Doorstep's not in the hand there. So yeah, my opponents going to be winning this one. I'm just playing out the remaining Sanctum cards. Both of my other teammates had actually lost before I played, so I was playing a friendly as it was. So as a team, the SCS Sharks have lost game 1. So I'll be putting game 2 on once it's played. Thanks for watching, so feel free to like and subscribe. I love comments and criticism, so please feel free to leave those. I'll hope to see you next time, but until then, may the Forge be with you.